Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. The Hurricane Watching is here with your latest update on Hurricane Ida. Currently, here's Hurricane Ida. Winds of estimated to be 100. I almost got to the predictions from the forecaster from the National Hurricane Center. Uh, this is the latest. The satellite imagery maximum sustained winds are 80 miles an hour. You can see the center circulation roughly right in here. So in about 2 to 3 hours, it should make landfall there in western Cuba. Hurricane conditions, definitely tropical storm conditions, are moving well into western Cuba right now. So heavy rain and flooding. We even getting a band right here, as you can see, a band up here, making its way into the western part of Florida there, and definitely there, as you can see right here, the Keys are getting some of those heavy bands of rain from Hurricane Ida right now. So Hurricane Ida is going to move across Cuba this evening into tonight and early hours of the morning. It should move into the Caribbean Sea. And I think it will weaken to a weak hurricane, maybe even a strong tropical storm. We'll just have to see where it is. Depending on how fast it is moving, there doesn't look like it's a whole lot of land. I mean, it's not going all the way across like this. I mean, if it was going like this, that'd be, it would be much rougher. But I do think, maybe probably weaken to a tropical storm because it's only about an 80-mile-an-hour hurricane right now. The one thing I did want to point out is the fact that we are seeing convection wrapping around the center of circulation right now, which is a sign of rapid intensification. Now, that's about to make landfall. It's going to weaken, and then it's going to intensify even more. So, hurricane is going to intensify once it gets over the Gulf of Mexico. Unfortunately, the National Hurricane Center is predicting 140 miles per hour, and we were saying possibly Category 4. We may even see Category 4 in the next update, and we did see 104. We're now seeing 140 miles an hour in this update. So, some thoughts of it becoming Category 5. Category 5 is still in the question. It's not out of the question yet. But we still think about 25 to a 30% chance of it becoming Category 5. We will keep the y'all updated. So currently, we do have hurricane warnings in effect for the north central coast, Gulf Coast of Louisiana. We do have storm surge warnings. Obviously, storm surge watches, hurricane warnings, and hurricane warnings and tropical storm. I think the tropical storm warnings, I believe, west, parts of southwestern Louisiana. So. We got quite a lot of going on, unfortunately. Lots of heavy rain in Cuba right now. Lots of flooding happening in there. We're going to be talking about the radar. So we have a lot happening right now. So automatically, let's look here. All right, this is what we're looking at. The storm surge is now estimated to be anywhere from 10 to 15 feet in south central Louisiana along the coast. We're expected to see all the way from Sabine Pass all the way to the Alabama and Florida border. So pretty much majority of the entire Gulf Coast will see some storm surge from all the way from Texas, from Sabine Pass, Texas, over here, all the way to Alabama, Florida. So we will see storm surge from all the way from extreme southeast Texas all the way to extreme southwest Florida, or southwest Florida panhandle. So that's what we're dealing with right now. Storm surge is going to be serious. There are storm surge warnings also in effect. I do want to talk about the storm surge inundation, because that's also going to be something we're going to have to worry about. So, storm surge inundation is going to be a huge problem with this area because there's more reds, there's more yellows. As you can see, by the way, the white with the black lines going across or levee area. So there's levees around the Mississippi. There's levees over here. There's levees, there's levees are a lot to help keep the ocean out, and the water out, but that doesn't always work very well. Yeah, there's levees all up and down the Mississippi River. So really worried about flash flooding and lots of storm surge. This could certainly be a problem. I didn't know there were levees in Texas. I had no idea. I know I should know that, but I honestly didn't, to be honest. Anyway, so we're going to be dealing with that. We also have some storm surge warnings in effect. If this is the latest update, there should be storm surge warnings. So yes, there's storm surge warnings all for Louisiana, Mississippi, and tropical and storm surge watches for Alabama and western parts of Louisiana, southwestern portions of Louisiana. So there are now storm surge warnings in effect for Louisiana at this moment. U.S. rainfall has increased by a lot. Let me just refresh this. There we go. Now we're seeing about 10 to 15 10 to 15 inches of rain. Flooding is going to be a huge problem. We're going to see 10 to 15 inches of rain near just to the west of New Orleans. Majority of all of southeast Louisiana will see at least 10 inches of rain. Mississippi could be seeing 4 to 6 inches of rain. Extreme southwest Mississippi could be seeing up to 10 inches of rain. Alabama could be seeing 4 to 6 inches of rain. Panhandle of Florida could be seeing 2 to 4 inches of rain. Maybe up to 6 inches of rain in isolated areas. Once you get up to Tennessee, 4 to 6 inches of rain, or 2 to 4 inches of rain is also possible. So we're going to have to be watching out for that too. Very, very dangerous. So here is the arrival time of winds. No, it says Friday evening. It's moving a little, I don't know, it's like says Sunday morning and then Sunday. This is way off. It's not going to be making landfall until Sunday. This evening is when it will be making landfall in Cuba. So this is the potential flash flooding. We do have still a moderate risk of flash flooding, a 20% chance of flash flooding. I do think that's going to go up a lot more. Most of Louisiana, southeast Louisiana is not under anything, but a moderate chance of flash flooding for Louisiana, parts of Mississippi. There is a marginal risk for the Panhandle of Florida, southwest Mississippi, southwest Alabama. We'll see anywhere from a marginal to a slight risk of flash flooding. So flooding is going to be a huge problem. I do want to talk about the key messages. So we're going to be dealing with flash flood, storm surge. There'll be dangerous, life-threatening storm surge inundation. And again, we'll be dealing with extremely life-threatening inundation of 10 to 15 feet above ground is possible within the area from Morgan City, Louisiana to the mouth of the Mississippi River. We're going to be dealing with extremely dangerous major hurricane force wind fields. And they are saying potentially catastrophic wind damage is possible where the core of Hurricane Ida moves onshore. And it is also expected to produce a very heavy rainfall. And that's not just landfall, alright? That's going to be farther inland also. So here's the latest public advisory. Oh, it was a corrected typo. Okay. Summary of the 5 p.m. Eastern Time, 2100 UTC. So it's about 45 miles northwest of the Isle of Youth, about 90 miles southwest of Havana, Cuba. Maximum sustained winds are at 80 miles per hour. Present movement is at around 15 miles per hour to the northwest. Minimum central air pressure is at 985 millibars. So we're going to be dealing with, so there's storm surge warnings, there are hurricane warnings, there's tropical storm warnings. So we have to be very watchful of that. Again, I just want to point out the fact that there is going to be, they are predicting 140 miles per hour. Just so we know that's happening. Local products. Some threats. Not sure what's happening here. Please zoom out. Beautiful. Perfect. Kind of good. Great. Alright. We're also going to be looking at flooding. We're going to be looking at, so, we're also going to be looking, what did their legal statement say? So these are where the hurricane watch has been issued. I didn't know there was even a hurricane watch. I didn't see a hurricane watch. Now I'm confused. Oh, I see. The hurricane watch is in like pink or peach. right here, and right here. So, yeah, this is a dangerous hurricane that we're dealing with here. Just gonna look at something now I don't remember. Here's Hurricane Ida that we're gonna be dealing with. Again, flooding is going to be a threat. We're gonna be dealing with very, very heavy amounts of rainfall. I did want to point out the fact that yes. So, these are where they're having the hurricane warnings. This is where they're also having, you got tropical storm warnings, you got tropical storm watches, and even hurricane watches to the west and to the east of the hurricane warnings. When it comes down to radar, here is what we are looking at with the radar. So I do want to point out that there is some moderate to some heavy rain moving into the Keys right now. So right here, it's actually farther south down here. It's right down here. We're seeing this band of rain moving this direction because it's kind of moving around the storm. You can kind of see this rain band right there making its way into the Florida Keys. So heavy rain is impacting the United States already, even though direct impacts will not be affecting Florida. These are sort of indirect impacts. So heavy rain is making its way into the Florida Keys. So they're going to be getting some heavy rain from that also. So they're going to be getting some heavy rain. Keys will be getting some heavy rain, and then as the storm intensifies, there will be tornadoes possible. Probably not as likely if you're in western Florida, because this will be moving away. This will be moving, I can do this properly. This will be moving away from y'all. So the chances of tornadoes are going to decrease. So this is going to be your biggest chance of tornadoes right now. Mississippi and Alabama will have the biggest chance of tornadoes. They'll also have a chance of storm surge. So very, 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 very bad and unfortunate for them. So let's see. I already talked about the storm surge. I talked about the flooding. I talked about that. It should have been updated, but it hasn't. It says if peak surge occurs at high tide. Yeah, this would be very, very bad. We all know. Very catastrophic. Very bad. So, I mean, there's storm surge all the way from the Texas-Louisiana border all the way to the Alabama and Florida border. So, it's just incredible. Heartbreaking. Very, very sad. In terms of power outages, I don't think there are many, if any, power outages currently happening at the moment. There are, well, more people got their power back here. Power outages in, 17,000 without power. 10,000 without power there. And there's 4,000. I don't know who has the most power outages in. Thankfully, no one is without power in the Keys, because that is where we are seeing some of the more heaviest rain at the moment. So there's no power outages in that area. Texas has 8,000 power outages. I don't know why. I should, because that's the state I live in. Florida has 6,000 power outages, or customers without power, but this is really going to come in handy when we are going to be able to track the power outages as the storm continues to make its way closer to Louisiana. Oh, wow. So unfortunately, this is also going to be a problem. I do want to talk about the Air Force reconnaissance, because they do have an Air Force reconnaissance aircraft is out there. I just can't tell. Oh, that's Florida. I mean, that's Cuba, gosh dang it. Oh my god, I don't know why I said Florida. It's Cuba. So they are making their way towards. So as you can see, the air pressure is dropping. They're down to 1,004 millibars at where they're at the surface. And so as we continue talking about this throughout the stream, we're going to continue to see that air pressure drop off. So we should see hurricane force winds at the surface, because that's what we are seeing. So we're already seeing stronger sustained winds of about 60 miles per hour right now. So those winds are only going to go up as the aircraft gets closer to the storm, to the center of the storm. So they're seeing a minimum air pressure of about 1,004.2 millibars at the moment. So Hurricane Ida has winds of 70 knots, about 75 knots, about 85 miles per hour right now. This is currently what satellite is looking like. So the next update, we should be shortly seeing that this storm will be making landfall. So you can kind of see more convection starting to wrap around that center circulation right there, as you can tell. And then we also have some thunderstorms firing up over, again, the Keys here. So lots of heavy rain moving into the southern parts of Florida. So right now, not a lot more to talk about, except for the fact that flooding is going to continue to be a problem for Cuba. So there's that for sure. Flooding is just going to be incredible. It's going to be really bad. Let's look at the models now, shall we? First, I want to have an idea of what we're dealing with ocean temperatures. So again, 31 degrees centigrade. The western Gulf seems to be warmer, but it does look like it's going to be moving like this right through here. Something like that. Let's look at forecast models. What's happening? It's not live though, so it might be outdated. Wait, Eric, wait. What's not live? Okay, let's look at the forecast models right now and see what we're looking at right here. So the GFS is showing a 955 millibar hurricane making landfall. I'm actually wondering what the NAMP is saying. Oh, that's totally not nerve-wracking to see. Okay. We go to regions, South Central United States. It just kind of helps us see an idea. Why does it still show air pressure being this incredibly low? I'm sorry, but oh my gosh. It is honestly just scary to think about. Like, I mean, look at the winds. The winds are just catastrophic, apparently. They're basically just catastrophic. I don't even want to think about this. It's terrifying. I don't even know what increments these are. Is it in 20? God, I freaking hope not. It's kind of scary to think about because you can kind of see the banding here in the isobars right through here. and then through here. That's just scary. I want to know what the storm looks like. That's just terrifying, because look how small that eye is. And we could be dealing with an eye developing, according to this, an eye developing in as early as just 44 hours from now. And then there it is when it makes landfall. Right there, roughly. It's not gonna work. That is kind of terrifying. I'm gonna be honest. Regions. Just look at the storm as it develops and makes its way in. Look at that eye. It develops, kind of falls apart. I guess that would be an eye wall replacement cycle, and then it comes back. So there's that upper level low. It moves to the west and out of here. And then there it is. There's the eye. It comes right back in. Eye wall replacement cycle. Boom, makes landfall. And then, yeah, Typhoon Tip had an air pressure of 870 millibars. Hurricane Katrina, or not Katrina, Hurricane and then Patricia had 872. And then Ida had 895. Yeah, no. No. I don't know if there's ever been a hurricane in the Gulf of Mexico that's had an air pressure below 900 millibars. Possibly one of the strongest. This would possibly be one of the strongest hurricanes in the Gulf of Mexico. Let's see what the air pressure is dropping down to. So we're down to, let's see, 999, 994, then went up to 1,000 and 1.8. So again, we're thinking. Wait, did this go over? Is this Cuba, and this is where Cuba ends? Okay, sorry, that sounded stupid. Yeah, it's back over water again. Aircraft reconnaissance is what I'm talking about. Yeah, the center circulation, they're all not there. They still got a bit ways to go until they get there, but they are finding winds of around 50 miles per hour. At latest, they are finding there's 50, there's 60, there's 65, and up here would be nearly 7. It would be about 70 miles an hour, and rain rate in millimeters an hour is around 1. Any comments, questions, or concerns in the chat right now? Hi there. Would you like... I'm going to put in the Discord server because I feel like people should join it, because why the frig not? So I'm going to add that right now. Not sure what this says. Oh, community club. Invite people. Copy. Feel free to join the server. You will be able to talk I can't speak, or type one-on-one with the HWT. Oh. And I can't spell. So if you want to, join the Hurricane Watch team, feel free. You will be able to talk a one-on-one with the Hurricane Watch team. You will get, we will walk you through the hurricane the best that we can. Because once again, we aren't actually meteorologists. We're just weather enthusiasts. I don't have a degree in meteorology. College, I haven't even started my first day of college yet, so yeah. So this is the Hurricane Ida right there, as you can see right there. Still just looks like it's right there. So it's still a few hours away from making landfall in Florida. Why do I keep saying Florida? I feel so stupid 90% of the time. I'm sorry, not Florida, in Cuba. You're gonna start unsubscribing because they're gonna think I'm stupid. That's okay. That's okay. So, does anyone have any other comments, questions, or concerns? Because I'm going to probably end this off here. I like to keep these little updates 30 minutes or so, 30, 40 minutes, kind of talk about the hurricane. Storm surge is going to be possible. We're going to be dealing with tornadoes, power outages statewide across Louisiana, probably. Well, eastern portions of Louisiana, for sure. So, we're going to be dealing with power outages in eastern portions of Louisiana. We're going to be dealing with hurricane force winds, 10 to 15 foot storm surge, inundation of flooding. I mean, the list just goes on and on and on. Let me get my thing on here. Okay. Alright, so let me just get any comments, questions, or concerns that people have. Going on. Alright, so probably gonna end off there. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. We will talk to you again later in the evening at 7 p.m. Central Time. That will be at midnight UTC, talking about Hurricane Ida. Maybe, probably most likely it's going to be hurricane, because this will be making landfall. Aircraft reconnaissance is in a hurricane right now. We'll be talking about it as the storm continues to move northwestward. And we're going to continue watching the storm as it will be continue posing a threat. We will be doing live coverage as it makes landfall. However, I won't be here to talk you through the hurricane, unfortunately, or fortunately, I don't know. I'll be in college, so I will be in college, doing my work, doing my stuff. So that the time, well, I'll be probably when it makes landfall. There's a chance I'll still be able to cover a little bit if it makes landfall in the evening or not. We have this going on right here. So that is it. Have a wonderful rest of your afternoon. I'll talk to you guys later this evening. Peace out.